We all have a powerful part to play in raising the next generation. The way we interact with young people is determined by our beliefs about the role we are supposed to play in their lives. Today, most of us seem to believe that the main goal of our interactions with young people is to mold or shape them into the right kind of person, like a carpenter, to keep them on track and on schedule, like a train conductor, meeting expectations and standards, or to supervise and guarantee their success, like a manager. Baked into these perceptions is the belief that if we stopped molding and managing them, they wouldn't make responsible choices and that they'd never amount to anything. This is an understandable conclusion, but is it true? Research shows that when we accept kids for who they are, provide developmentally appropriate levels of autonomy, and allow them to experience the results of their own choices, the part of their brain that controls their ability to figure things out, to stay focused on a goal, to control themselves, to persist through frustration, to understand others with empathy, and manage their emotions literally gets bigger. This part of their brain, called the prefrontal cortex, is the slowest part of the brain to develop, beginning around age 7 and not reaching full maturity until the late 20s. The more kids use this part of their brain, the more it will grow and the better they will be able to manage their lives independently. We can't expect kids to develop the ability to problem solve and stay focused or to govern themselves well if they've always relied on us to manage their behaviors, their efforts, and their interests. If we want these results, it stands to reason that we need to make a little shift in how we see our role as adults so that the brains of the kiddos we care about so much can reach their full potential. 3 shifts, actually. Behold, we give you the 3 shifts. Shift 1, from carpenter to gardener. Shift 1 invites us to trade in our carpenter tools and methods for a gardening trowel, watering can, and fertilizer. With our gardening gloves on, we courageously acknowledge that what young people need most is our unconditional acceptance, our warmth, empathy, and our care. The desire to mold and shape is understandable, but these methods only get us short-term compliance, and they rob us of long-term influence. As gardeners, we accept that we can't force kids to do something that they don't want to do. They are who they are inside, and they deserve to be accepted and nurtured. This doesn't mean that we have to love everything they do or lower our expectations. It simply means that we don't withdraw from the relationship when kids struggle. We focus on helping kids establish deep roots of relationships and creating environments that support them in their growth. We are not responsible for the miracle of their internal development and maturity, and we don't get to choose what they become. We are responsible for cultivating the soil and providing the support they may need to weather the storms that come their way. As gardeners, we care unconditionally, we lean in, we get curious, and we provide. Shift 2, from train conductor to travel agent. Shift 2 invites us to trade in the comfort of the train tracks and our stopwatch for a map of the ever-shifting wild terrain all around us. As travel agents, we boldly acknowledge that there are many paths and many destinations. Our predetermined schedules, pacing, and standards might not be the best way to unlock the full potential of each child. Each individual has the right and potential to chart a new course, discover a new endpoint, and pursue their own path. We accept that this will not always be the most efficient way forward. There will be false starts, misdirections, and dead ends. However, we trust that students learn just as much from the valleys as they do from the mountaintops. We carefully scaffold our support and guidance to match the capabilities of the travelers in our care, providing more direction if they struggle to find their way, and greater freedom and risk as they develop their skills. As travel agents, we prioritize personalization. We express confidence, we consider all roads, and we cast a vision of what could be, sharing our personal experiences and expanding their horizons. Shift 3, from manager to consultant. Shift 3 invites us to hand over the clipboard and time cards to our students and children when they're ready, so that they can learn to manage themselves, first with our support, and then independently. As consultants, we confidently acknowledge that it is only through ownership and responsibility that young people can become truly self-governing. We partner with our children and students as they move towards competence and excellence. We help them problem solve and prompt them to evaluate their actions and their results in curious, non-judgmental ways. We help students hold themselves accountable to their goals. We respect each student's right to own their own learning and development. We don't abandon during times of struggle, nor do we rescue or take over. Consultants strive to keep kids at their learning frontiers and challenge them to do more than the bare minimum. We push kids to learn and how to think as we help them overcome the discomfort of not knowing and being wrong. We destigmatize failure so kids are free to take risks. When we allow these 3 shifts to inform how we see our role as an adult, it becomes natural to interact with kids in accepting, personalized, and inspiring ways.